Hello everyone, so here we go, my very first video. I'm still working out which way to look, so I actually look at the camera, so I think I'll have to make do with me always looking a little bit to the side. This is me and my struggles with my little iPad. Anyway, thank you so much. I got so many questions and I won't be able to cover them all in this video. But I will answer all of your questions either in other videos, or if I don't get through by the end of the week, then send me your email address please to my email at info@citysavvydogs.com and I will answer them all, promise. I had one question that came up several times actually. It was what dog breeds are good for people with allergies or with asthma. So I'm going to go into this one first, because I'm sure that's useful for quite a few of you. First of all, there's no dog that is truly hypoallergenic, because all dogs produce some kind of dander, and the allergy is not an allergy to the actual hair or fur, but to the dander that dogs shed, and that comes from the skin. But some are low shedding or almost non-shedding, and they tend to cause no reaction or not much of a reaction with allergy sufferers. And what I would say is that I will go through various breeds, but because they all are slightly different, if you do think about, well, maybe I want this one or that one, do go visit a breeder and spend as much time as possible around that dog, or particularly the one dog you may actually want to get, at least half an hour. So then you can go away and you see whether you react to that particular dog, and make sure that you're not getting it and then start wheezing and sneezing and in the end get heartbroken because you have to give your dog up again. There's been a lot of talk about Labradoodles and Cockapoos. The Labradoodles in particular have been bred to be low shedding or no shedding. The problem is that many people think that if they just get a Labradoodle they'll be fine. Truth is, however, because they are a cross between a Labrador, a shedding breed, and a Poodle, a non-shedding dog, they are a cross. So some of them will be non-shedding and others will shed. And especially if you go for a first cross or the first generation, you don't really know what you're getting until you've tried. And because of that, many Labradoodles find themselves in rescue because their owners had to give them up again, because in fact they did cause a reaction. So just make sure, or go for one that sort of has already been bred for several generations, where you can be more certain. Or as I said, go and actually be with that dog for a while. Right, so the most famous breed for non-shedding or low shedding is probably the Poodle, and Poodles are brilliant dogs. I haven't owned one myself, but I know many, and there is a good reason why there are so many oodles and doodles out there. First of all, Poodles come in 3 sizes. You have the miniature and the toy poodle, and you also have the standard poodle, and they all don't shed or are very low shedding. They are extremely smart, very intelligent, they pick up tricks very easily, and they are very playful and affectionate. They love dogs and people, so really they are a good breed to look into, especially if you suffer from allergy or you have friends or family or where somebody has asthma or a dog allergy. Now Poodles tend to be seen a little bit as a poncy dog because of the stupid haircut that you see in the show rings. But the thing is, you can just have them clipped in any old way. You can just have them clipped to have a shorter coat, and they'll look, like a little dog rather than a show poodle. They're very good for families, but because they don't shed, and actually they have hair rather than fur, and that hair just grows, and so it does need a trim, so you need to have a poodle groomed every 6 to 8 weeks to make sure the coat doesn't mat and is kept in good order. and that goes for pretty much all the non-shedding or low-shedding breeds. Those who don't shed have to get rid of their excess hair in different ways, and therefore they need a clip or a good groom every so often. It varies from breed to breed. So if you don't want a poodle, there are other possibilities, quite a few actually, so don't despair. Some are in the toy breeds, the very little ones. For example, the Shih Tzu. They love people, and they don't shed, or not much, are good for people with allergies, and are lovely dogs. They're also quite good to keep in an apartment because they are active in the house, but they're also quite happy to lie around a lot. So yes, they're quite good as apartment dogs generally as well. They are very sensitive to heat though, so on a hot day you need to keep them cool. Then we have the Yorkshire Terrier. They have no undercoat, and therefore they are low shedding. They're also very intelligent, and some of them may bark at strangers though, others ignore them completely, so it's a bit of a lottery there what you get, just something to be aware of. Then several dogs in the Bichon type dogs. They're also very small dogs, tend to be white, and the basic one is the Bichon frisé. You may know them. They're the little white ones that look like very short little lambs. They need intense grooming though. They are very playful, they love people, they are very intelligent, and they're good with children and also with cats. So if you have a cat, or you think you may want to have a cat as well, the Bichon might be your dog. Similarly, the Maltese. They're very active, very playful, so lots of fun. They are quite good for urban dwellers amongst us. They love games and are almost non-shedding. And another Bichon type dog is the Coton du Toulouse. You may have seen them at crafts, also a little white dog. They, like the poodle, don't have fur, they have hair, and they need daily grooming because the hair can get quite long. They're extremely affectionate, they're very good with other dogs, they're very trainable, they're very eager to please their owners. So if it's a little dog you want, that could be the one for you. Then we have the Havanese. Havanese are also toy dogs, but they have very big personalities. They are very smart, affectionate, and they have a history as circus dogs. So that just shows you how easily you can teach them tricks. They just love human companionship. So if you go for one of these, please don't leave them alone for any length of time. They really thrive on their human companionship. They don't like to be alone at all. The Havanese does gather dander in his coat though, so you need to brush it out regularly to avoid any reactions. Then, slightly bigger dogs. One that has become, is a fairly rare breed, but has become much more well known because it's the dog that President Obama has, and that's the Portuguese water dog. He's also a non-shedding dog with a curly coat, a little bit like a poodle, and is very, very intelligent, was bred as a working dog, very smart, very easy to train. This dog tends to bond with one member of the family in particular, but still makes a good family dog. You need to keep him active though, keep him busy, like all active dogs. If a dog that needs a lot of stimulation and is very intelligent and has a lot of energy, if you don't keep them busy, they find their own way of entertainment, and the Portuguese water dog can be destructive if his mind doesn't get anything else to do. A similar dog to the Portuguese water dog is the Irish Water Spaniel. It's very low shedding, does need a monthly trim though, and this dog is a good dog for a home with children or with other animals. It's a very active dog though, so again, keep him busy. A medium-sized dog that is not so well known is the Polish lowland sheepdog. It's a nice medium-sized sort of fluffy dog. He needs moderate exercise, so it's not quite as high energy, They make good watchdogs, and they can be wary of strangers, so you need to socialize them early. They are very playful though, and they just love activities. They love to play games with you, and you know, with their own family, they are brilliant. They're very affectionate, and they don't shed. Another medium-sized one is the Lagotto Romagnolo, an Italian breed, and this breed is also very intelligent, good to train, and was bred particularly to hunt truffles. So you may see the nose on the ground quite a lot. They're very active, they love children, they're also good with other animals, and they just love swimming. So they will hop into any puddle they see. And maybe not for the keen gardeners amongst you, because they love to dig. Then we have the Bedlington Terrier. They are the ones, white dogs, they look a bit like lambs, you know, like sheep. And they're also very loyal to their owners, and they're very smart, but they have a reputation of not getting on particularly well with other dogs. So maybe not so much for you if you need to go to the local doggy park every day. They need very careful early socialization to avoid those problems. You also, of course, have the option of going for a hairless dog, like the Chinese Crested or the Peruvian Inca Orchid. Now, the Peruvian Inca Orchid comes in 3 sizes, so you've got a choice there. Then we have another terrier, the Airedale Terrier. They are medium-sized or quite big, and they have a wiry coat. They have this terrier temperament. They can be quite stubborn, are not quite so easily trained, but they can be great fun. They're very intelligent. They get bored easily. So if you just do your normal training class, they might switch off because they're bored. So you need to think of ways of keeping them entertained. And they can be brilliant at obedience and all kinds of doggy sports, but they need a lot of exercise. Then another terrier is the Kerry Blue Terrier, a medium-sized dog. They don't shed but need regular clipping. They are also very good with children, but not really for first-time owners. And why not? Because they have a tendency to be aggressive towards other dogs, so they need very early and very careful socialization to make sure they get used to other dogs. And I can't overemphasize the importance of early socialization. Really, when you get a puppy, you've got 3-4 months. By 12-16 weeks, the most important period for socialization is over. By then they have to have had lots and lots of good experiences with other dogs and other people. In the first 12 weeks a dog should meet 100 different people. So that might mean if you get a puppy, have lots of parties in that time, because the vaccinations are often not complete before that time. Often they're only allowed out and have their paws on the ground and go to parks and stuff when they are 12 weeks or even older. So in order to make sure they meet all those people that they need to meet, invite them around, have lots of people around, have lots of visitors, lots of different people, and carry them around in the streets, take them in the car, sit somewhere in a car park, sit with them in your arms and just let them watch the world go by. The more they see, the more they sniff, the more they hear. You know, cyclists, cars, people with walking sticks, hats, sunglasses, all that kind of stuff is really, really important. And the more they see and experience when they're young, the better. It's very, very, very difficult and sometimes impossible to catch up if you miss that vital time. Just thought I'd throw that in here. Yes, have I missed anybody? Yes, the miniature Schnauzer is also a popular breed and good for asthmatics, because they are low shedding. They make very good guard dogs, though they can be a bit bulky. So if you live in a block of flats or with neighbors that are easily annoyed, maybe not perfect. They are not recommended if you have other small animals in the house, cats, hamsters, anything like that, because they have a very high prey drive and they will chase them. So that is it for the asthmatic dogs. Excuse me for looking at my notes sometimes. I haven't really learned it all by heart. So let's see